had my eyes filled up with tears. And yes, we'd like to fake our deaths and go off of the grid, but the truth is we are softies and we truly love our kids. So join us every Thursday night to laugh at all our pain. An evening in the Parents Lounge is the cure for staying sane. We'd like to fake our deaths and go off of the grid, but the truth is we are softies and we truly love our kids. So join us every Thursday night to laugh at all our pain. An evening in the Parents Lounge is the cure for staying sane.
Welcome. Is it slow?
He didn't even see it. He wasn't looking up when I put it in.
Did I miss it?
I added you to the very end of the theme song.
Oh,
my
I
gosh.
missed it. I was eating.
Welcome
I'm sorry. Let me see it again.
No, it's too late. You missed it. You'll have to see it next week. Welcome to Parental Mental Health Thursday nights. I'm Jamie Kaler, joined as always by Jeff Lewis and Jason Gowan.
Hello.
And we are so excited. It's our pre-Labor Day show. Thank you guys for joining. We always have a great turnout. And it's just, I hope you guys went and made yourself a cocktail.
I did. Actually, I'm drinking straight Buffalo Trace today.
Oh, I thought you were going to say I'm drinking straight ketamine or something at this point.
I'm having lasagna and chicken fingers with some water.
I have a propofol drip that I have a doctor putting into my body as we speak.
That stuff is good, man. Don't listen to Michael Jackson.
I'm going to do an induced coma for Labor Day. It's going to be a 3-day induced coma, and I'm looking forward to it.
I got some codeine-laced toilet paper that I've been using that's been working really well for me.
Really quick, in the comment section, I'd like to hear what drugs you're on right now, everybody. Because it feels like everybody's on something, even if it's like Ozempic or a gummy or tetracycline. I don't know, but everybody's on something.
What is
it's almost Labor Day. My kids finally went back to school this week. I know it's Parental Mental Health tonight, but honestly, guys, I got to be honest with you. I just coached a 10-year-old soccer, and we were playing, the other coach and I, with the kids. And one of the kids kicked the ball right into the family jewels, and I dropped a rock. So it's not even a parental mental health. The kids didn't. It hit me right in my balls, and I dropped like a rock. And a bunch of like 9 and 10-year-old girls just stared at me like, "What happened? Are you like?" They had no concept of the intense vomitous pain I was feeling at that moment.
And they won't know until they go into labor.
Until they're dating some guy in high school, and then they know their only choice is to hit him in the groin. Because let's talk about it for a second, because I'm deep in my 50s, and honestly, as I dropped, I was like, wow, this is how I die. They go, oh, I got kicked in the balls and I dropped like a rock and died. I haven't been hit in the balls that badly in so long that I almost threw up. Like, remember, when's the last time you really took a shot to the groin?
Yesterday.
When you have a second, I've got a short story to tell you about that.
Please. I'm about to. Please. I want to see Jeff raise his hand and go. Yes, Mr. Lewis. What happened to your balls that we need to talk about?
So we woke up in the morning. This was when my son was a baby. He was crying for us. So I went in to open the door of his bedroom. You know how sometimes you turn the knob, but you walk in before the knob actually turns.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And you walk into the door.
Oh.
Yes.
So I walked into the door, and the knob I got it right in the balls, and
You knobbed your knob?
passed out.
I was gonna say, you double knobbed it? You knob squared?
I walked right into the doorknob, smashed my face, and I started to see colors, and the whole world started to go dark, and I passed out. And so I woke up to like 5 firemen on top of me.
That's not firemen.
I had what they call a vaso something.
Back up. All right, for everybody who's watching, Katie. Look at Katie's comment. He clobbed the knob. You're actually like people had to come rescue you from being hit in the balls.
It happens to people sometimes. They hit their balls, and suddenly their blood pressure. It's so painful. Your blood pressure drops so much that it's doctor. There's got to be a doctor. Vasovagal. Yeah, I had a vasovagal episode. My blood pressure dropped, and I passed out right then and there. And my wife thought I was dead. All she heard her sound was like me groan, me something, and then that fire, and suddenly there were like 5 firemen, and she was suddenly really happy. I mean, they were good-looking guys, so there were 5 firemen and I can't believe I hit my balls, and suddenly it's like I passed out, man. It was horrible. That's a vasovagal episode. Thank you, Katie.
I have an uncomfortableness in my undercarriage now because we're talking about it.
I still feel like I'm gonna vomit I got hit like an hour ago. I got hit an hour and a half ago. Oh, I can feel it up. It feels like, here's what it feels like. It feels like a punch goes up your urethra, goes up into your midsection, and hits you right behind the diaphragm, where you're like, it's just numbing. Like,
now, do you think, Jamie or Jason, it feels sometimes like you've done permanent damage, but nobody ever really does that. It never really gets is how, you know what I mean? Like,
I disagree, because I've known people who had to have a testicle removed because it was it got shattered. One dude got hit. I think he got hit with a baseball,
Jamie.
like a line drive, hit him in the balls, shattered his nut, like cracked the walnut. They had to take it out. And what they do is they put a plastic one in there. It also happens if you have I love how we started this show.
They just open it up and throw a wiffle ball in? What happened?
I can't believe that, because it feels sometimes when I get in the balls that I did damage, but it's better later. But that's incredible.
I remember in high school taking one in basketball where I think I laid on the court. Jobo, your timing. We're talking about getting hit in the nuts. I took one in high school. They had to like just grab my ankles and drag me. I couldn't stand up. I think I almost suffocated because I couldn't breathe. Lost a testicle playing football, says Kate.
Oh my God.
And there's been a million jokes about it, but they're in a satin pouch hanging outside your body. It's like the worst design of all time. It's crazy to me.
It is really tough, yeah. And they start hanging a little.
It's very exposed. It's on the outside, and it's the exact height that your children start out at.
Oh, it's crazy. And that's right where they start swinging. I couldn't, so I dropped. I dropped in the middle of the field. The kid flipped it up, and she hit me right in the groin with the ball.
Oh my God!
Dropped me, and I fell to the ground. And the kids like stood there like, "Yo, what happened? You all right?" And I couldn't turn to a bunch of 9-year-olds and go, "You hit me in the balls." I couldn't do that. So I go, "You hit me in the stomach," and then they just all thought I was a giant pussy because I.
Oh my God!
And
I guess you got to wear a cup.
I dropped like a little girl. I couldn't even stand up. I was like,
oh my God!
Crazy. I haven't taken one like that, I don't know, in well over a decade. And then you take it and you go, oh, that's right. That's how that works. I'm going to feel like nauseous for the next several hours. Like that was,
I'm a glass half full kind of guy, but like, at least you're alive and they're working.
Yeah.
I mean, let's face it. I know they're working anyway. Jeff, you know they're working.
Just 10 minutes ago, I proved that on the toilet. Yeah, I know it.
While you were eating dinner?
I don't even. Sometimes with Jeff, it's better left to just leave the story a little mysterious.
No, but it is weird. Like about balls, there's such a weird thing.
They honestly, they're a weird thing. Anyway, welcome to Parental Mental Health Thursday here at the Parents Lounge. Jason Gowan, Jeff Lewis, myself, Jake Keeler, we're here. It is Labor Day weekend, so we can celebrate labor. I believe.
I know. No school tomorrow. Do you guys have school tomorrow?
No, we have school. I know. The LAUSD has a 4-day weekend.
4?
Well,
yeah, they get the Monday off too.
Saturday, Sunday, Monday. You have Monday off.
I didn't know we were off Monday. I just knew tomorrow.
You didn't know you had Labor Day off Monday?
But the actual Labor Day is Monday.
I thought Friday was Labor Day. Okay, all right.
How long have you been really quick, just to check? How long have you been on Earth, and how long have you known how calendars work?
3 days.
Labor Day has been Monday since
my people sent me and didn't tell me.
Since Socrates, I believe Labor Day has been on Monday.
Oh my God!
Are you on a different calendar than you're not on the Gregorian calendar? What's happening?
I'm on the Gregorian Messianic calendar, Jamie.
Critter Nation 3000 says, "Did you know September started today, where you can get 25 or 30% for 6 months off subscription to Jeff's stream now until October 1st?
Oh, wow.
Is that true?
Yeah, not because that paid advertisement, we get a cut of whatever that is.
But did you also know they're going to raise their rates now, which sucks?
From what I understand from the internet, it's very organic to grow. You don't need to pay money. I think if you just do quality work, people will see it and it will start to grow by word of mouth, right? You don't have to pay to play in this algorithm world, do you?
Doesn't seem like
okay. Here's a bit. Here's a bit I have that it's a question. And I want everyone out there to answer this question.
Okay.
Sure.
If I just stand in a corner and I whisper quietly to myself and I go, shoes, within seconds, I'm inundated by emails and messages and anything. And yet I watched the news today, and that dude in Pennsylvania who shot at Trump had Googled how to assassinate a president, how to build a bomb, how to detonate a nuclear bomb. No flags go up whatsoever. But if I sit in the backyard and I go, hey, I wonder, maybe we should get some lawn furniture. All of a sudden the internet peaks up and goes, look, somebody wants some internet furniture. But one dude Googles how to end the earth, and everyone's like, no, don't worry about that. Ignore that.
True.
Well, in his defense, it's a pretty common search term here in Pennsylvania.
It's almost a daily activity.
You'd think with Bezos is there, and Bezos is like, no, let that one go. Oh, this guy's looking for a grill. Let's send him the Weber catalog. But people are like, hey, they're Googling, how do I attain plutonium? Don't worry about that. Ignore that one. That's just gonna go right through.
Unless we can sell it to him.
It's crazy to me, dude.
It is crazy. I mean, I don't know what Alexa's picking up, but it's weird. We have conversations like that all the time.
Dude, I talked about a song. Oh, I was talking about Oasis. I don't know if you guys are Oasis guys. Who out there wants to go to England to see Oasis?
Wait, did something happen? Are they touring for the first time?
They're going to tour. They almost did themselves a favor by fighting and splitting up because they created such. People really want to see them, right? And so there's a huge thing. How long has it been? 25 years, I want to say. They had a fight backstage. The band ended. They walked off stage. They haven't talked in like 20 years.
Oh my God.
So Jobo's so right. Has everyone seen that George Carlin bit where he goes, you have no choice. There's the middle class. The poor is only there to scare the middle class to go into work. And it's all about has anyone seen that clip?
Where he says what?
Star Drew, I saw Pet Shop Boys open for New Order at the Hollywood Bowl last year. And my friends laughed at me because I'm such a big Pet Shop Boys. I was sobbing during Love Comes Quickly. Comes quickly. And I'm out dancing at the Hollywood Bowl with just tears streaming. I love the Pet Shop Boys. Huge Pet Shop Boys.
What was their big song?
Their big song, which is not my favorite, is West End Boys.
Oh my God.
Do you remember that song? My favorite was, we used to do it all the time in college, but they sang, I've got the looks. You've got the brains.
Oh,
Let's make lots of money. And we
that's
always just
them
go,
too.
yeah, that's them too. They have so many hits. So great. And
Oh
they were
my
so
God.
good.
Jamie, what's your all-time favorite band?
Oh, shoot. I don't know, man. If bands I've never seen, I would love to see the Smiths. I'm actually going to see, this is interesting. I'm interested to see if anyone knows who Billy Bragg is. I'm a huge Billy Bragg fan, and he's coming to the Fonda in September, and I'm going to see him. And Paul Weller's here from the Jam, but they're the same night. The Clash, I always wish I saw. I've seen Elvis Costello.
Yeah.
But I usually now I go to the Bowl to see, like, I've seen New Order and Depeche Mode there the last couple of years. I'm still kind of new wave 80s.
They're doing a big Marvel thing at the Bowl this weekend.
Are
like
they?
They're doing like the musical, like all the scores from the movies.
Oh weekend. Yes, my friends last night saw, like, was it Sound of Music or something like that? I can't remember.
Is it John Williams? A lot of times John Williams is there with the orchestra, and they're doing all the.
I don't know if it's John Williams. They said who it was, but I don't think it was John Williams.
Singing in the Rain was at the Bowl.
Oh yeah.
That's all I know, guys.
Dude, you can see any show at the Bowl. Like I'm at the point now where I don't go see bands; I go see venues. We went to some stadium to see Billy Joel and Stevie Nicks, and they were great, but the show sucked because and we had great seats, but you're in a football stadium.
Yeah.
Like the Fonda is this tight little place. Paul Weller's downtown at the Orpheum. I am done with giant palatial stadiums. It's a pain in the ass to get in. The music, the sound sucks.
Dude, I saw
right as your AARP discounts kicking in.
I know. I always bring my AARP thermos, and they always let
you that. Have one?
Is that true? That's not. I saw Sticks at the Saban. You know the Saban. I saw Sticks, and I swear to God, half the people were in wheelchairs. I mean, it was like, oh man, this is so funny. Like those people are. I mean, they've gotten older.
Domo arigato, Mr. Roboto. Come on, baby.
I saw Blue Oyster
I got
Cult.
you, babe. I grew up.
Jason, you saw who?
Blue Oyster Cult.
Oh
How was that? When did you see
Don't
that?
Fear the Reaper? Is that
5 or 6 years ago? It was right. It was like a year before. It was like 2015 or 16. It was right before I met Melissa.
I call him BOC.
Blue Oyster Cult, my first concert.
Really?
Mm.
Oh my
with
God.
Pat Travers band and Foghat at the Boston Garden, and I was so drunk I don't remember much of it at all.
By the way, very sad that Greg Kinn passed away.
Conspiracy.
I liked that guy.
He was great.
He and Eddie Money
Isn't it weird? We're getting to the age where people were starting to go like, "Oh, he's gone."
Oh my God. Dude, Bob Newhart. I thought he'd be with me forever.
Forever, right? You never. He was immortal. He was a Highlander.
I mean, well, let me ask you this, and this is a good parenting question because I'm a little bit older. You know, there's a big age gap between my wife.
Much older, yeah.
Well, you know, I mean, let's not push it, Jeff. You don't have to be a dick about it. I mean, a lot. I'm a lot older than my wife, and here's the dilemma with it: is that she's still in her
20s.
Driven 40s where it's like this in life and I got what, and I'm past that where I'm like, I just don't want any drama. I mean, let's just enjoy every day and let's get through this thing. And I'm starting to feel like, and it's not just me, I feel like I was equating it to shows like The Gilded Age or Downton Abbey where, they call it rich people problems. I feel like sometimes people, and maybe more often than not, women thrive on drama. Like where I'm like, I don't know whether to not talk or to, like, if I don't talk, it's like, you never say anything. And then the second I open my mouth, it's like, you don't have to scream at me. I don't know. I just feel like sometimes you're like, look, I don't want to fight, but I feel like she's
looking for it.
I feel like you're looking for something to get your blood pressure up. And I'm in an age where every time I'm like, I'm over the drama. I don't want any more drama. There's enough drama in the world. Like every day you put on the news, it's like you can see the same story on 2 different stations and it's like 180 degrees apart. A champagne problem, says Jessica. I couldn't agree more, right? It's like sometimes we can't see the forest for the trees, where we get lost in these arguments where you're like, life is short. What are you doing? Why
Yeah.
is anybody fighting over this garbage? Do you guys feel that sometimes? And I feel like nowadays,
Yeah.
and I feel like it's more concentrated than when I was younger. And I'm sure it's social media.
And it's probably post-COVID.
Yes,
I mean,
absolutely.
For sure that. For sure that.
I mean, that was a crazy time.
It was a crazy time.
So
It seems like both really far away, but also not.
No.
It was a weird, like some sort of time portal that I don't understand it.
But I do think people are on edge. I mean, I feel it, like even in a like somebody's going to crack at a grocery store from one tiny thing. I don't know.
Let me ask you this. Are you guys a little more hesitant to like honk your horn?
Yes.
Or to get involved?
Yes.
I find myself, I'll see something happening where I would normally be like, hey guys, let's just everybody calm down. And now I'm like, I don't want to be part of this. I just walk away, which kind of sucks too, because it used to be more of a community thing where it's like, hey man, can we all get along? And now you're like, I just got to get out of this. I got to get away from this scenario before we all get shot.
Well, not only do you have to get out of the situation, but you also have to make sure that nobody sees you when they're filming it with their camera, so that you were like you didn't do anything during it.
Yes. Yeah.
Because that's like a thing now. Then they like what's the word for that? Because you were there, you witnessed it, but you don't want to get involved, but at the same time you probably should have helped. Like it's a thing, and then they shame those people. And I get it. On both sides, it's a tangled web we weave now.
Yeah,
I agree.
And the news, I think, doesn't help.
What doesn't, Jeff?
The news. I mean, I think we see those confrontations and the result of somebody saying, "Can you put out your cigarette?" And it's like, oh shit. Like, yeah. I mean, that's
although
really...
Jamie, I did see you at Niagara Falls when that guy threw it on the ground about rip his face off.
But I didn't rip his face off. I think we've talked about this before.
I don't know if Jeff knows the story.
No,
we're staring at the dude. We go to Niagara Falls. We do the gig in Pennsylvania, and we go to the Buffalo airport, and so we go to Niagara Falls on the drive there, and we go out, and everyone's just standing there looking at this, like the most beautiful. Have you ever been to Niagara Falls?
Yes, I have.
I mean, it's kind of like it takes you back to this. It takes you back to this like amazing thing of like nature, right? It's like staring at the Grand Canyon, where it's just the majesty of it. It's gorgeous and beautiful, and it's it's so special, and it's a mystical place and magical, and you're enjoying this thing, and you're looking at beauty. And I look over, and this dude takes his last, and then flicks his cigarette onto the ground, right overlooking Niagara Falls. And I didn't yell at him. But here's what I did, and this is so me. But I looked at him, I said, "Dude, come on, you're better than that."
You said that to him?
Like, come on, man, you're better than that.
So the best part about this, so Kate Mulligan and I were down the hill from it, and the guy was wearing a pink rain poncho, and from the angle we were at, it looked like Jamie was scolding a small child.
Oh my God.
So
it was not. It was a Hispanic gentleman
saying these things, and I'm like, "Oh my God, he's attacking a child. We need to get up there." And we get up there, and it's an adult male. But from our angle, it did look like you were assaulting a child.
One of my pet peeves: people who flick their cigarettes wherever they feel like it, and like they don't put. Like my father smoked his whole life, chain smoked. He'd put the cigarette out. He'd put it back in the pack. He'd put it in his pocket. He would dispose of it properly. I always I hated the fact that he smoked, but to be fair, when the dude went to World War II, they gave him his pack and they said, "Here's all your gear. Oh, and there's 2 cartons of cigarettes in there. Smoke them if you got them." So no filters, Lucky Strikes. It's World War II. Right. He smoked, and all of a sudden he's like, "Oh, I smoked for 60 straight years." That's how it works. But it's like people who do that, people who don't pick up their dog crap, that's my number one. Those are the worst people who've ever lived. The people who, I have a dog, I'm going to walk my dog a little after dark so nobody sees that I don't pick up my dog's crap. I just want to.
Oh my God. The dog poop in our neighborhood is ridiculous.
It's ridiculous, man.
And I got to tell you, this is another thing. I mean, I'm a wimp.
Are you in, Jeff? I don't actually know.
What?
Jason, what
I
was
said,
that?
what section of LA are you in? I don't actually know.
I'm in like
Are
I'm
you
going to
in-
say
are you
North
near
Hollywood
Taylor?
area.
You're Valley Village. You're
Okay,
Studio
yeah.
City.
Hollywood. I was trying to keep it.
Just like a mile away from me. We're that close to each other.
Yeah, but I'm going to tell you, I've once or twice I've seen people right down the street, dogs taking a poop, and they don't do anything. And sometimes I mean I let it go. I don't know, man. It's like
I used to light people up, dude. I had this woman, she let the dog poop right in front of me, and she like smiled at me and went to walk away. And I said, I'm sorry, you're going to pick that up? And she goes, no, but you can. And she's kept walking. And I was like so shaken because I'm like, I deal with
okay.
hecklers for a living.
But let me ask you this question, because this is the judgment I use whenever I want to tell people to do something. This is the judgment I use. Would I say the same thing to a person who is 7 feet tall, 300 pounds, with tattoos all over his face, than a person who I knew I could probably
I
take
agree.
on? And I have to say, because if it's not fair, like you gotta be fair to everybody. If you're not going to tell it to a guy that's going to probably beat your face in, you probably shouldn't tell it to a person who's in a wheelchair who you
I
could
don't
take
agree.
on. You
I don't
would
agree.
tell it. You would say it to anybody?
Yes.
I
Yes.
would not. No, honestly, if the guy was 7 feet tall, I might say something comedically of like, no, don't worry about that. I might say something smart ass, but honestly,
Or
it's
do you
about
need a bag?
self-preservation.
That's what I'm. So yeah. So it's like you're kind of I just feel weird picking and choosing people based
No,
on.
see, I will say it to everybody because I keep hoping for the mercy killing.
He only says it to the people who could kill him.
Yeah.
He wants to go.
Or I follow them home after their dog shits in my yard and then I shit in their yard.
Yeah.
Myself.
There's so much in our neighborhood. It's ridiculous.
I had a dream about like when that woman did that, when she said, no, but you can. I always used to talk about how I went back because it haunted me for like days. I couldn't sleep. I was turning in my head and I was so angry that I wanted to go out and like pick it up and put it in a plastic bag and just hang on to it. And then when she came back, because if I see her again, I would run up and just rub it in her hair.
I have thought about that.
I've always wanted to do
I have thought about that.
her hair. And she goes, what are you doing? And I go, that's yours. Mother. Lose my mind on people who do
I
that.
do not understand the logic. It's so easy to pick it up. It's like, what is the problem? I don't get it. It seems
No, it
so
sucks.
easy.
I have a dog. It absolutely sucks. But there's
But-
no the alternative is it makes you the worst person who's ever lived. That you feel like you can enjoy the privilege of having a dog and not feeling like you have to take care of that. Like I guess someone else will do it. And here, it sucks, but here's the deal. The truth is, it's typically people who don't own a home. And I don't want to pull them out, but in my neighborhood,
That's possible. Yeah.
it's not people who own homes. It's people at the apartments a few blocks away who have walked down into the home section and they let their dog crap. I also see, here's what I see. I see women get out of their car with their dog, walk the block.
In your neighborhood?
Get back in the car. Oh, I have lit. But here's the problem. You light people up. They know where you live.
That's
know where you live.
That's
So
true.
I've
They do know where you live.
I had a huge.
That's how you lose a catalytic converter.
Dude, I had a fight with this woman. She did exactly that. Let the dog crap in my front yard. I go, hey, you going to pick that up or something? She goes, you're just saying that because she was African-American. She was black. And so she called me out for being a racist. And I go, wow, good for you finding an argument there. Like you let your dog crap and now I'm on my lawn and now I'm the bad guy because I gave you grief about it because you're black or something. And it got ugly. It got so ugly.
Yeah.
And I fucking lit her up. And then like a week later, my front light down at the front of my house was broken. And my wife was like, learn a lesson yet? And I go, yeah, okay. She goes, you light these people up. And
that's
they know
racist. What color was the dog?
Can I address?
The dog was white. I'm so
Shanana. Can I tell you something, Shanana? She's saying as a woman, I think you can be braver. But here's the thing: a woman is probably not going to be hit by a guy who's 7 feet tall with tattoos. He probably won't hit a woman. Probably he will hit a guy. He will hit me. And that's what I'm saying. That's I don't know, man. Do you agree with
Katie,
that?
Dude, of course, I totally agree with
I
you.
mean, a woman can say, I feel like, I don't know, man.
I have wanted to say things to people, but I saw their size and thought twice about it. I was like, yeah, I'm not gonna. No, that guy's okay.
Yeah.
He'll get away with it.
But
Katie says those three things, and so here's what's funny, Katie. I have been guilty of not always putting my cart back in the best place. I haven't always walked it back. It's like I've done it maybe 60 or 70% of the time where I walk all the way back. But a lot of times the kids are in the car. So I don't leave it in a parking lot. I don't leave it in a handicap spot. But I kind of, if there's a couple other, I kind of stack them and kind of put them in a spot where people can get them. But yes, that's a big thing. People always say that.
Yeah.
And people cut in line. Oh my God. We were picking up the kids at school today, and there was a car line, and some guy came zipping up and just went right in because we're in the center lane.
In the drop off
Car line. Got the car line.
Oh my God.
I almost got out of the car, ran over, and like put my fist through his windshield.
Oh no, those spots are coveted. You don't mess with that.
I'm gonna
Today
give you-
I noticed somebody rear-ended somebody in car line today.
Deliberately?
Yeah, I don't know if it was deliberate, but the cops were involved when we pulled in.
Oh my God.
God, that's crazy. I'm gonna give you one guess. Guess what type of car cut?
Tesla?
What?
No.
Nope.
Cyber.
Prius.
No.
What'd you say?
California.
I said a
Think
Prius.
someone who buys a car who's like
Oh,
it's the
your
kind of
school.
car that doesn't wait at a four-way stop. It's the kind of car that gets to a four-way stop and goes, well, obviously I go first.
I don't know, BMW? I'll go with
Close.
Mercedes.
Of course, it's a
Mercedes.
So actually there were two cars that cut today. One was a Mercedes and one was a BMW. And they both cut.
Now, have you noticed also people driving down the center lane to avoid traffic? Have you guys noticed that?
Mm-hmm.
The middle for turning only.
And then cutting back in?
Yep.
Or just going straight down the street.
Of course.
In the center lane where some people turn. It
happens all the time
all the time.
One street here in our town that has 3 lanes.
Well, let me ask you guys this. And Jason, you're in a small town. We're in a bit of a bigger town. But I just feel like, is it just me or are there too many people? Are there too many people or is it?
There's a lot of people. There's a lot of people.
Is it
but
just
people are leaving, I hear. So maybe
leaving
that's good.
Everywhere?
I feel better about the number of people if I could hand choose who they are, but I can't.
We've talked about this a lot, about the fact that you can't even go, like this weekend's Labor Day, I could theoretically just put the kids in the car and drive to Yellowstone and go enjoy nature's splendor. You can't. You have to have reservations.
You're
For
right.
Yellowstone?
For national parks, you can't just walk in anymore, man. Have you seen the line on Everest to climb Everest? Everest is like, so if you watch when Everest people climb Everest, it's bumper to bumper climbing, and you're
the top,
behind the guy in front of you, and there's not like 2 dudes climbing Everest. It's a straight line of people who have dropped $250,000.
Yeah.
They had some poor Sherpa carry all their shit up so that they could just say, I climbed Everest. I mean, they didn't carry any of the other dude climbed it and carried the gear.
Yeah.
And you're like some millionaire who's just pulling up and going, and it's really hard because that last bit is really super dangerous. The trick is trying to get back down before the weather change. It's like, and when pockets open where you go up, and all of a sudden there's a line of people, and you can be stuck behind people where you can't get up only because there's a line on Everest.
That is weird that when people think of adventurers, they don't think they're also probably really rich. Like the people that travel around the world and around the globe in their boat or something, they're probably rich people. I don't think about that.
That's so funny.
The people who climb Everest are the same people who drive down the center
It's probably
lanes.
true.
And they're in a Mercedes. I feel like sometimes when you buy the Mercedes, the guy goes, we have a 4-way stop package. And sure enough, at the top of Everest is a pile of dog crap. And some dude going, I'm not picking that up.
There's bodies up there, tons of bodies, frozen
So
bodies.
not only are there tons of bodies, but because the everything's getting warmer and things are melting, those dudes are reappearing.
Thawing out.
You know that, right? They were kind of buried under the snow, but now that it's warm, they're like, oh, look, Frank showed up. And they're dragging people back down.
I missed Frank.
That happened here. Remember all the rivers, all the lakes that dried up? They found bodies.
They found the oil drums when the
Yeah.
dudes were in the oil. Okay, here's my other thing about parenting. This is so awful. Did anyone else watch the Scott Peterson documentary?
I haven't watched it. Is it good?
He's so guilty. It's so. Did anyone out there who's watching? And by the way, if you're watching this, we can't see your comments on Instagram. We can only see your comments on what, YouTube and Facebook, Jason?
Correct.
Yeah. So if you're watching this on Instagram or Twitch or something, I think we can see Twitch, can't we?
We can see Twitch, yes.
But if you're watching it somewhere and you feel like these guys aren't responding to our comments, go over to our YouTube page or go to the Facebook. You have to watch the Scott Peterson trial. Like, listen, they don't know where she was killed. They don't know how she was killed, and they don't know exactly when she was killed. But that dude killed her. There's no
doubt.
Oh my God. He has a boat. He's going fishing. No one in the family knew he had a boat. He's got a girlfriend. He tells her on the 9th of December, oh, my wife, he only tells her because they have a mutual friend who's talking to Amber Fry, and the friend goes, he's married, right? And Amber calls him and says, my friend says you're married. He goes, oh, I was. She died. This is on December 9th. By the way, he buys a boat. He buys a boat on December 9th. Doesn't tell anyone. No one in the family knows this dude has a boat. He makes sea anchors, cement sea anchors. He says he only made one, which wouldn't hold the boat anyway. But they have a photo where it looks like 5 were made on this one piece of wood. And then he goes boating at the in the inlet by San Francisco, the bay, on like Christmas Eve. She disappears Christmas Eve. And he goes, oh, I was boating. And they go, you have a boat? He goes, oh, didn't I tell you? No one knows he has a boat.
Oh,
and
my God.
If they don't find the body, he probably gets away with it. But she washes up exactly where he said he went boating.
Oh, my God.
And then still to this day, his sister's like, he's totally innocent. It's a frame job. You're like, dude, he didn't want to pay alimony and child support, and he took a shot, and it didn't work out for him.
Can I tell you something that it's been years, right? Here's how I know he did it. Because nobody in this world can keep a secret. If somebody else did it, they would tell somebody. You can't hide. That's why I know OJ did it. Because it's like if somebody else did it, they would have said, hey man, I killed that woman and that waiter. You can't hide. You can't keep a secret. You can't keep a secret.
Kato Kalin said, oh, I heard him stumble over the fence at like 2 o'clock in the morning. His Manalo Blanc footprints are he had cuts all over his hand. They found his glove. To be fair, Johnny Cochran might have been the greatest lawyer of all time. And the fact that they had Furman on record saying a racist comment or two, I lived right there.
Oh, you did? I remember that.
Like a mile.
Wait, were you working when the whole thing went down through Malibu?
I was working at the Crocodile Cafe in Santa Monica, looking down on the 10 as AC Cowlings drove him past
the Crocodile Cafe.
That was my first job. I had it for 3 months before the dude who owned O'Brien's came in, and I made him laugh. And he goes, "Come work at the Irish pub." And I go, "Yeah."
Oh my God!
And so we were watching the Knicks game, the crazy John Starks Knicks, Ewing, and all of a sudden they cut away to the white Bronco. This is like, there's no internet. There's no phones. It's just TV, and everyone in every bar anywhere is glued to a television watching AC Cowling drive a Bronco with OJ. And he's so
With
guilty.
his mustache and his beard.
But it's tricky because at the end of the day, they don't know exactly how they couldn't prove
I
how she
know.
died. They couldn't prove this. They couldn't.
But somebody, if it was a mob, except for what's his name? Who was the guy that was,
God, dude.
who was the guy that was killed? Like, they've never figured
Can you
that one
imagine
out.
the old days? I'm watching that show on Netflix about Wyatt Earp versus the Cowboys or whatever. And it's really interesting. It's kind of Tombstone, but the true story. I'm sure some of the people watching us tonight, guilty people don't run in white vans with their best friend. That's the other thing with Peterson. When they finally catch, dude, by the way, Scott Peterson is like, it took him a long time because the body didn't wash up for months. So he's like, he never acted like, everyone's like, we're still looking for Lacey. And he's like, oh yeah, I hope she gets back. But until then, I'm selling her car. I'm putting the house on the market. He was acting like someone who's like, oh, trust me, she's not coming back. Just so we're all on the same page.
What happened? So they divorced, or they were going to divorce? What was the?
No, he was cheating on her. He had a girlfriend.
So he wanted to get rid of her
because she's like, don't call me a mistress because I didn't know he was married. No, dude, he's so duplicitous. And they have like the police interviews, and he immediately acts like he did it. Like he just doesn't act like he's such a sociopath. He doesn't act once like they won't. And, here's the best thing. So he won't do any interviews for a while. He won't talk to, and he goes, he won't take a polygraph. Dude, guilty.
Yeah.
Guilty.
Right.
If your wife disappeared and they said polygraph, dude, where? Yes. Let me figure out how to fix this. Right. He goes, I don't think I should do that. Why? Because you killed your wife. So he doesn't do interviews for months. And finally, the press is bad. And everyone's like, dude, we got to be honest with you. Even his family's like, it looks like you did it. And so he goes, all right, well, I guess I'll do a press junket. So he reaches out to Diane Sawyer, and they do an interview with Diane Sawyer. And Diane Sawyer's like, so you told your wife you had a girlfriend? He's like, yeah, I did. And Diane Sawyer's like, you mean your 8.5-month pregnant wife? You told her you had a girlfriend, and she was totally fine with it. He's like, yeah, she didn't. Yeah, she was totally okay with it. And Diane Sawyer goes,
yeah, happens all the time. My wife's totally.
By the way, we all have children. We all know how an 8.5-month pregnant woman behaves.
Not emotional in any way at all.
Like a normal woman wouldn't be cool. I'm going to tell you right now, an 8.5-month pregnant woman, if you went in and was like, hey, I know we're having a baby together, but I met somebody else, and I got to be honest with it. I don't think you and I are. And Diane Sawyer keeps going, and you're telling me this 8.5-month pregnant woman was totally cool. And he goes, yeah, she totally was. And then the next question she asked, he's like, I don't think we should talk more about me and stuff. I think we should really put most of the effort on to Lacey because she's still missing. And then on the documentary, they cut away there. And he's like, I just, I really want to make sure we keep thinking about Lacey and trying to find her. And then the interview ends and he goes, okay, are we done here? And he pulls the mic off.
Oh my God.
He clicks over and you're like, he's so guilty. And then they cut to the
I gotta see it.
And the sister's like, and then at the end it goes, his sister got her law degree so she could try to prove his innocence. You go, good luck with that.
Oh my God.
So fucking guilty, dude.
I know you're having a baby in 2 weeks, but
here's the deal. I'm talking to so many friends about we doing this. The beauty of this show and why we started this thing is that we all think we live in this tiny little chamber that we're so unique and our problems aren't anybody else. We all have the same problems.
Same problem.
Yeah.
Same problems. And honestly, it's like, I was doing a joke the other day and I said, you know why rich people get divorced more often than poor people? Because they can. It's so easy. When the rich person goes, you know what? Why don't I just buy the house next door and we'll split the kid? Like, it's just so much easier. Yeah. How many people in this country are not divorced because it's not financially possible?
Feasible. Yeah.
Where they're like, look, yeah, we should definitely have separate homes. We really can barely afford this house. I mean, I don't know how we're going to get this thing. So
My
just
wife
makes
watches
funny.
this show. I'm not saying shit.
me laugh when I see people like that, where you're like, dude, anytime I see on Facebook where it's like, people are putting up posts of like, love of my life. Oh, every day is a joy. And it's the
We've
greatest.
never had a fight.
We've never fought. I don't believe. And I'm always like murder, suicide waiting to happen.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like it's
There-
part of it. Two
look,
people are trying to raise kids and on different paths. It's crazy.
I've always said there's a lot of like in love. You got to have the like, because the love is like some days you got to like someone too. I feel like maybe that's crazy, but I don't know.
It is hard. I was talking to another friend recently, and he said they've been married for a long time. And, I love when, people do grow apart, because he goes, my interests, he has all these crazy interests. He likes to hike. He likes to do all these things. His wife doesn't like any of that. And so they started off on one path, but their interests totally changed. And he's off doing this thing and she's off. It's good. It's got its positives, but he's also like, I'd love to find someone who would hike with me. You know what I mean? It's hard.
Yeah.
It's hard.
It's tough. Some people feel like, having a couple wives is okay, I guess.
See, my wife and I can't fight because of her heart condition. So like, even though like I get angry sometimes, I have to keep my mouth shut.
You really can't fight.
Or he could kill her.
I can't. She's a ticking time bomb. I set off that pacemaker, Jeff. I'm fucked.
That's so unfair.
It's
his
not
wife has
right.
a pacemaker in. Did you know that, Jeff?
What?
His wife has a pacemaker.
I did
She
not
got
know
put in
that.
it when she was 28.
She had a
28?
stroke. She had a stroke after the
6
kids
days
were born.
after the twins were born.
Yeah.
I'm
Which,
so
by the
sorry.
way, is totally your fault, Jason. You put that seed in there. You planted a
There's
seed.
never any proof I put those kids in anywhere. There's no proof they're even
You
mine.
came inside.
All babies look like me.
That sounds like a Scott Peterson
Yeah.
interview. You can't prove I'm the father. No, we can't.
I've
It's
never
DNA.
seen any official paperwork.
It's very simple. It's just simple DNA. We can take a swab of your mouth. I can prove the whole thing, every bit of it.
Oh my God,
Yeah,
DNA.
it's not going to come back conclusive.
How are you guys doing now that the kids are back to school, man? Honestly, do you feel like a giant, like somebody took their foot off your neck?
You
A
and I
little
talked
bit.
about that today.
I maybe have too much free time.
You have too much.
I mean,
Dude, when did summer become worse than school year? I mean, at
It's
least
so much
school
worse.
year's busy, but at least you have that pocket in the window. You have that sweet spot where you can get some actual stuff done.
well, that's why my parents sent me away for 8 weeks to summer camp, the Jewish summer camp that I hated. They were like 8 weeks. They could bang all the time. They could do anything they wanted.
Yeah, I'm sure your parents were just banging all the time. You were at summer camp, Jeff. Please.
Listen, they sent me. They told me in letters. But listen, they I'm sure they did something, but they didn't have me.
Wait, what did Freddie B just? We made it 2 weeks before they got sick. That's the other. So we just started school this past. We've been there for 4 days, and I'm waiting for people to get sick and lice to outbreak. Anybody else?
What is
It's
it
like,
with this school and the lice? What is happening there?
it's not just us, dude. I mean, there's lice. Do you not get lice at your school? You guys just don't even care. You just live with it.
It's been a long
Well,
time.
we live in. I mean, lice just live here naturally, so it's business as usual.
I don't know. I never got sick before I had kids. Never.
No, I told my wife that yesterday when the day the kids went to preschool, I was healthy as a horse. That week I got sick. I mean, immediately. They're disgusting creatures.
They are.
Billy Steeler said summer was crazy. It's so painful. It's
So
so
much worse.
painful. And honestly, I think iPads make it worse because you can't even tell them to go outside. That my kids are like screaming to their iPads. Dan
they got
Wally
VR
says-
too.
Outside,
By
I
the way-
do not understand the term. What is it?
Can I
No,
exercise?
Dan Wally
Dad?
drives a school bus driver. He drives a school. I think he's just saying he drives a school bus. The happiness in parents' faces on the first day back.
On the
That's
school.
hilarious, man. That's too funny.
Yeah.
Everybody, I got sick the first week school. I think everybody gets sick the first week back.
I've never
It's-
gotten so sick since when they started preschool. It's crazy.
It's
I
crazy.
never, I mean, maybe you guys did this, but I never made them wash hands every time they came home. I just never did stuff like that.
Are we
Wait,
supposed
what?
to?
What?
Are we
Like
supposed
when
to?
they come home to your house?
No, I think the smart thing probably would have been every time they come home from preschool or right before they do, we'll have them wash their hands. I probably would have gotten
How
so
often, Jeff?
sick.
Do you wash your own hands? How often do you wash your own hands?
No, I don't even use Jamie. Look, I I don't have time. I'm really busy. I look, um I wipe them on things I see, and then it's not a big, I mean, I don't know. I don't wash I put them under the sink once in a while. I don't really, I mean, it's a lot of work. But I
Not
listen,
underwater, under the sink.
I put them under the sink. I don't actually turn it on. Yeah.
Have you ever? Sometimes I'll be out and I'll have to pee, and I'll like wherever I'm peeing, and then somebody else is in the bathroom, so I don't really want to wash my hands. I don't want my hands wet for I don't know why.
And
so I'll
sometimes
just
there's
run
no
the water.
towels.
Am I crazy, or have you ever just run the water, pretended you washed your hands, and then pulled the paper towel off so somebody else in the bathroom thinks that you washed
may
your
have
hands?
done
Did
that,
it?
yeah.
Oh, absolutely. I've done that.
Probably. Yeah.
Okay. Sometimes I do it and I go, am I a sociopath? Sometimes I
Like-
do it just for show. I'm like, I just don't want this guy to walk out and just go, that guy didn't wash his hands. But I got to be honest with you. Look, I'm not peeing on my hand.
No.
My
Look, it's
junk
my
is
For me,
dick.
it'll depend on how much
It's my
I
dick
handle
and it's
it.
clean. You know what I'm saying?
I'm clean. I'm not a filthy monkey. It's not like I'm.
No.
And so I'm going to the restroom, but I'm not. I don't touch anything. I use the shoe to put the seat up and the shoe to put the seat down. I flush the toilet with my foot. My hands don't touch anything except for myself.
So
So I don't
really,
even
you just
wanna
need to
touch
clean
the
your
faucet.
shoes.
Yeah.
What?
You just need to clean your shoes.
Oh, I clean my shoes. I
There's
leave them
nothing
outside.
wrong with eating or touching or playing with your own feces or urine. There's nothing wrong.
Jeff's
It's
gone too far.
yours. What?
You can't wash your hands. You can't wash hands when you go poo, says Star Drew.
I don't understand.
What the fuck have I been doing in there?
You wash your legs. Yes. Show na 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 na.
Is that bad?
Na. I wash my
Yes,
legs in the
mediocre.
shower. Sure, I do. I wash my legs.
Where
I wash
else?
my junk.
I have to. Yeah, you.
And I've
have
got we have the double shower head where I have the overhead, but I also have the flexible one that I can, you
really get up in there.
Oh, I know what you mean,
it's like-
Jamie.
It's like a shower bidet, and then you can
Yeah.
set it just a steady stream and just get in there. And if I touched my dick,
If I touch my dick and then handed you your food, you're going to eat
No,
that.
I'm not feeding
it
anybody. I'm
depends
not
on the
working.
meal,
No,
honestly.
but if it was your own,
so I think listen. If you work in a restaurant, absolutely, you should. Although I will argue, I've worked in numerous restaurants, and I will tell you that I would say that my personal shenanigans are probably cleaner than a lot of things in that restaurant.
yeah,
Jeff, tell them
no.
about Felicia's theory of dabbing your penis every day.
I don't know the theory. I was just looking at that thinking, she has a lot of theories, but I don't know that one.
Of dabbing, he cleans his shoes but doesn't wash his hands afterwards. And no, Freddie, I don't clean my shoes.
Please.
Listen, am I insane? Listen, a lot of times I wash my hands. If I feel like something's happened, let's shake on it. I just touch my dick.
Look,
Am I the
just
only one? Does everyone out there wash their hands every single time? Am I the crazy one?
I wash my hands when I'm cooking dinner. Before I cook
Yes.
dinner.
Of course I'll wash my hands.
Yeah,
before.
yes.
But I still then I touch my dick a few times. But it's fine.
So Blair says yes. Every single time you go near a restroom, you wash your hands. Interesting. Is that true? Katie's a woman. Here's my other big gripe. Okay, so here's another thing. This stupid antiseptic, what's the gel that you wipe your hands with that they came out during COVID? Everyone had to have. What's it called?
COVID antiseptic gel.
Not it.
Purell, you mean?
What's Purell? What is
Purell.
Purell? Antibacterial or something?
Purell.
What part of yes was confusing? Blair's very clean. Blair's very clean. What part of yes? All right,
Hand
so Blair,
sanitizer. There you go.
hand sanitizer. I think hand sanitizer is the worst thing that's ever happened. because I think you need those germs. All of a sudden, I'm Rogan. I've gone full Rogan on my
You have
conspiracy
changed.
theories.
What happened to you?
I think the more you wipe all these germs off your hands and everything, that you are actually hurting your immune system. Is that wrong? I would love to hear
No,
what
I
people
I
think.
do
No, I've
think
heard
there's
that.
something to be said for that.
My wife is sick all the time, and she uses that gel all the time. She's using it on her hand. I can't stand the smell of it. I think that, there's a thing about kids who grow up on farms. I'm going to be sick, literally, says Frankie Muse.
Also, having dogs is supposed to be good for people now, I hear.
Listen, the kids who grew up on the farm don't get sick. The human body is designed. There's an immune system. I will 100% of the hand sanitizer. Just wash your freaking hands. All right, Katie.
Yes, and you're supposed to urinate on your baby the first 3 months.
Okay, now someone's gone full Joe Rogan. What's happening?
No, I don't know. All right,
Jorge
we got to wrap this up.
Posada, the catcher for the Yankees. It was a famous story. Jorge Posada, he would urinate on his hands.
Oh, I did hear that, to soften him up.
It would strengthen toughened his skin. Also, there's a whole sect of people who are drinking their own urine for health reasons.
It's sanitary and they like the taste.
Do they warm it up?
I think they chill it, actually.
Okay.
I'm not joking. Everyone else, does anyone know about this? There was a guy, he had an autoimmune disease or something.
I like ice.
And there's a belief system that if you drink your own urine, it actually improves. I don't agree with that, but I do agree that you want germs in your life. It's actually right. In hospital settings, you want antimicrobial and sterile surfaces.
So
but in
you
day-to-day
hurt
life, you want
yourself.
it to
Yeah.
I agree. And listen, I get sick here now with kids a little more, but I never get sick. I think I'll just use batting gloves. Thank you. Hey, Jeff, are you going live at 9?
I am. So I was just going to bring that up.
All right. Well, listen, we got 2 minutes to wrap this beast up. And then everyone who's here, please, Jeff is going on Twitch. What are you playing tonight?
I'll be playing Fall Guys with the squad.
You're not playing Hobo Street Killer?
That was last week.
Oh, that's
no,
last
I
week.
killed all the hobos. The game's
Jason,
over.
you got to jump in with him and play some games, man.
Sure, absolutely,
All
anytime.
3 of you, we should all do it.
We should hop in the Oculus sometime and all do that. That would be a lot of fun.
I would do it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I got to tell you, so as far as people watching this, you guys are awesome. The jokes, the comments, really. When we say it's Parental Mental Health Night, I hope that the audience gets something out of it. But every week, I don't know about you guys, but I feel much better. I got a lot off my chest tonight. I'm sorry I spoke so much, but I got a lot of anger.
It was all for you.
Sometimes. But I did get kicked in the balls about 2 hours ago, and I still feel sick to my stomach.
I'm so sorry.
You earned this, buddy.
I really appreciate everybody joining us. Be sure to check out our stuff. Give us a subscribe if you're on YouTube. Follow us on whatever you're watching us at. And can't wait until Saturday to see the reveal. Oh, my gosh. We have a big show coming up in November. We're in Sarah, Pennsylvania. I'm in North Hollywood this Saturday at the Comedy Chateau. I'm in Dallas next weekend at TK's Comedy Club.
Oh my God!
And then I'm doing my dry bar special in 2 weeks in Provo, Utah. So,
and I'm in Waverly, New York next Thursday.
Mm-hmm. And Jeffy Lou is holding down the fort on Twitch.
Yes, I will. I'll keep you informed.
We appreciate you all. Thank you guys for joining us tonight. Super fun hang. That's all I got. Anybody want to say goodbye?
We love you guys.
Unhook.
We'll be back next Thursday.
I'll see everybody in my stream in just a minute.
All right. Shall do. All right. We'll catch you all next time here in the Parents Lounge. And thanks for tuning in. See you next time.
Bye, sir.